Hi, welcome to the Telecom Innovators Video Showcase. I'm Sue Merrick, and today I'm here with Paul Borowski. Paul is the Chief Growth Officer at Conviva. Hi, Paul. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Sue. Thank you for having me.
So, Paul, tell me a little bit. We know the global fiber connectivity market is expected to be huge, like a $50 billion business by 2030 or in 2030 timeframe. And because of this, we're seeing a lot of funding that is being made available to accelerate fiber broadband deployments. So do you think, an opportunity for telcos then to free up CapEx and kind of reinvest in other growth drivers? What are your kind of thoughts around that?
Absolutely. Fiber's always been a big barrier for investment, right? Because it's so expensive to trench that last mile, as we all know. So having other partners come into the mix to help share that cost, I think, puts the telcos in a unique position to transform themselves into techcos and really monetize a lot of the experiences that other over-the-top providers have kind of been monetizing for the past several years. When you think about their position to offer services for connected cars and infotainment services, stadium experiences that they're connected to enable fan experiences, whether they're at a concert or at a sporting event, and things like drone applications for monitoring traffic or incidents. This investment of kind of sharing the cost of fiber and last mile access, I think, does definitely free up resources for telcos to make that transformation and start acting like techcos and monetize a lot of the services that are riding over their networks today.
Right. And, we talk about fiber being on the rise, but also 5G deployments are also on the rise. And,
Yes.
That's also creating then a demand for more backhaul capacity. So how critical is it for fiber companies to kind of have an agile, flexible, and extensible business support system to support all these types of like services like backhaul and other types of services?
Oh, it's absolutely critical, Sue. I mean, the only thing changing faster than the buzzwords we like to use in the industry on a day-to-day basis are the experiences that customers want to consume over these networks. So you think about the ability to configure network, configure compute, and then have software sit on top of that in a very agile fashion. At Conviva, our BSS platform, Blue Marble, is modular, is cloud capable. It's built on a foundation of microservices so that we can come in with an end-to-end offer to help configure those services. Or we can fly in formation with existing assets that the telcos have today that they're still utilizing that may not be as flexible for enabling some of those new experiences. We're open API structure. We're TM Forum compliant with both our API gateways and our catalog. So Blue Marble has really been innovated specifically for enabling those 5G experiences and can be customized and configured to meet the needs of the telco however they see fit.
Great. And so what about the telco state of readiness, especially when it comes to realizing new revenue streams around, we hear about these things like edge computing, IoT, and private networks, but what types of business support services or systems do they need in order to kind of grow these new services that the industry is talking about?
Yeah, great question. I mean, the telcos and all of us are really kind of coming out of the COVID era. And one area where I think we saw the telcos respond extremely well was building out network capacity for all the remote work. We're essentially kind of a remote economy for that 2-year window. And I don't know about your experience too, but my network performance and my connectivity didn't really blip at all. I think the telcos responded in a big way to that. And so it accelerated a lot of capacity investments. And now we're at a state where, we've got this capacity, but some of the software systems to enable those experiences may need to be refreshed and updated. Enter Conviva and enter Blue Marble. We feel like the timing is right for us to be able to bring, the modular capabilities that we talked about in the previous question to the telcos to help their BSS systems now catch up and be ready with the network capacity that they've enabled.
It is interesting. It does seem like the BSS systems always kind of play catch up a little bit.
They lag that a little bit. Absolutely.
That's kind of a historical thing there that seems to be true. But
well, what's the point of configuring a lot of fancy services if the network can't support the
Right.
experience you want to give, right? So it's a little bit of a chicken and egg. Yeah.
So how important is it that this kind of leads to the question that I have about for a telco then to have a robust BSS so it can kind of create these new offerings quickly, automate order and deployment and provide self-service for the customer?
Yes, very good question. And so we talked already about some of the technical bits and bytes and capabilities of Blue Marble, microservices, cloud aware, open APIs. It's going to take more than just the telcos to enable a lot of these experiences. When you think about the role insurance companies will play in a connected car environment when there's an accident, for example, or municipalities need to play in smart streetlight type applications or first responders. What's important is that the BSS for 5G experiences can support ecosystem partners, which we do. We have integrations with third parties for both enabling the experience as well as commission models. If you're selling services through a third party into a local municipality, being able to support resellers that are providing the services in a more localized, format and template. So we can support partners with commission models from our BSS. We also have a catalog that's built for supporting configuration, pricing, and quoting. So automated CPQ capabilities so that we can put an offer together and let partners and wholesalers select what aspects of that offer they want, and then get pricing for that very quickly. So you've got automated CPQ that kind of brings all those different components together: network, cloud, and compute. And then finally, even self-serve models. That's really kind of the last pillar when we think about how we're trying to empower the telcos from a go-to-market standpoint, is giving end customers the ability to make configuration changes on the fly. Maybe they need to increase network performance and reduce delay and jitter for video streaming. Or maybe there's a peak bandwidth period during rush hour where they need to configure more capacity and bandwidth. Those are all the things from a partner ecosystem, automated CPQ and self-serve model that we also offer telcos with our next-gen BSS Blue Marble.
Great. Paul, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. It was great speaking with you.
Likewise, thank you for the opportunity, Sue.
Thanks.